Welcome, Fems, Thems, and Hims. What's good? It's your girl King Kiyoma, aka the Demon King, aka Lil Majin's understudy, aka Sienna, and what the fuck is happening with you? Look, let's get into it real simple, not waste no time. I don't really see people playing Dabura that much, which, to be fair, he's a little weird, but has one of the highest base HP pulls of any damage dealer in the game, so, you know, kind of balances out. Today I'm gonna teach you how to play him, maybe I'll start seeing him more. You know, I kind of like playing with a Dabura on my team. I kind of like playing Dabura. Sick character. Well, in this game, we're not going to talk about the actual character. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing some more people trying to run it down with him. So, let's get into this how we always do. Section 1, I'm going to give you all a little breakdown, a little breakdown of the character. Section 2, we're going to look at the damn card build. Section 3, I'm going to tell y'all the situational stuff and tell y'all what to do, what it is, how it works, and everything in between. And then we're gonna put it into a practice game. So, let's commence. Alright, here we are. Character breakdown time. Dabura's passive is pretty interesting. He has this little circle around himself, kind of like after you land 3 autos with Mordekaiser in League, if you've played that. And the circle gets bigger as he levels up, but what it does is while enemies are within it, they get a little gauge under their health bar that also goes up with you hitting them. It's a little petrification gauge. Once it reaches max, your next rush attack will guaranteed petrify them, turn them into stone. Same as with like any skill that you would throw out there. And this meter goes up from you either hitting rush attacks, landing skills, or them just being in your radius of that circle. And when it goes up and you petrify them, they can't do shit. You beat the shit out of them. And you also deal more damage to enemies that have petrification when they're within the radius of this circle that is around Dabura. Pretty interesting passive. Also no transformation, so don't even worry about it. His rush attack is pretty normal. Just know that every third rush attack that you do, it's going to fill the petrification gauge more than his normal rush attacks. His skill 1, it's a little explosion. Once you hit it, even if they vanish step, they do not dodge it. It guaranteed hits. It fills more of your petrification gauge the lower their gauge is when you do it. But it's also his best damage dealing tool, and this is your maxer. This is the one I recommend maxing first. Also, if you use it immediately after Vanishing Step, the activation time is faster. So yeah, pretty good move. Skill 2, you shoot out a little spear. When it hits an enemy, they get their Vanishing Step sealed, and you get movement speed up towards a target that has a spear within them. When it's maxed, it turns into 3 spears. Pretty simple. It's a good move, but it's the 3 spear diff doesn't matter that much, I'll be honest. Just as long as you have the 1, it's good enough. Your skill 3, Evil Flame, you can move around during the attack. It does movement speed down when it hits an enemy and also applies burn. Every time you hit an enemy with this, every time it ticks, same with the burn damage, both the burn damage and the ticks of the actual move itself fill the petrification gauge. So that's a good thing to take advantage of. He's really about running people down, you know. You get the skill 2, no vanishing step. Skill 3, you're slowed, and then you can go in, finish them off with your skill 1, and hopefully that petrifies them. Your super, pretty simple. It's a big old blast in a big old circle. And when it hits enemies, it fills the petrification gauge like 60%. It does a fuck ton of damage. It's a good move. Good move is a good. And yeah, the character's game plan is really simple. He's going to take away your runaway options, and then you're going to run them down. Usually what I like doing is skill 3, skill 2, skill 1, but he doesn't really have a combo. His kit is about making sure you can't do anything and he can do everything. So, you know. Now we're into cards. For cards, I guess it depends a little bit. You can build him kind of tanky, HP regen-y, because he has such a big health bar. I wouldn't recommend it, but you can if you want. What I usually do is I do Super Snowball, Giant Slayer, and Pursuer. And that does a lot of work, especially since he has such high HP, or like base, as his base HP stat. It doesn't really end up mattering all too much, trying to make him tankier or do anything different. But if you wanted to, you could go HP regen. You want to take Giant Slayer and Pursuer, but HP regen over Super Snowball is like kind of nice for certain situations if you're going against a damage dealer that's really good at dealing early damage, like a Android 18 or a Trunks. But I would still recommend Super Snowball at the end of the day, because if you can get even 1 stack, it makes him so good. There's also an argument for his final card being Backstab, but Pursuer gives him so much more damage on his skill 1 and skill 3, and his super, that I really do recommend doing it. Even if Wicked Warrior seems enticing because of the rush attack petrification, it's just better to do Pursuer than Backstab or Wicked Warrior. So yeah, again, very simple character, very simple build. Super Snowball, Giant Slayer, Pursuer. If you're really scared, too easy, Giant Slayer, Pursuer. Now we're into the situationals. We're into the minor stuff. He doesn't really care about stealth, so Cloud Cover, Spirited Away, it's cool, but like that does nothing for him, really. Super Start, we love Super Start. You love doing Super Start skill 1 because, duh, it makes the radius of it fucking huge, and it does a lot of damage, and it's going to fill a lot of the petrification gauge, especially early on. Especially with how much health he has, it makes it easy to run down an enemy, especially with Super Damage Boost skill 1. If you ever get the two combined, he's like one of the best characters for that setup. So that's something worth taking note of. He also loves Super Damage Boost skill 1. And he's pretty good at farming. The only problem is that his cooldowns are all really high, generally. So that does make dancing around using his skills pretty hard. Especially since the base cooldown of his skill 1 is 10 seconds, which maybe even 11, which is like, that's a lot. But he's a very solid damage dealer. You just got to be good at keeping track of your skills and abilities and making sure that you can land that Vanishing Step into skill 1 as much as possible. Usually after you do your skill 3, skill 2, skill 1, and then you, boom, Vanishing Step, blow them up with that skill 1 at the end of the combo. And if they're still alive, hit them with a skill 2 again, because usually that's going to be up. Make sure that they can't Vanishing Step, and then Super. Or sometimes if they have high enough petrification gauge, just do skill 2 into Super. It's going to petrify him. You get the free kill. It is what it is. But yeah, very simple character. Far more simple than some of the other characters we've covered. That there really is not much more to explain beyond that. So let's get into a practice game, why don't we? Y'all notice, hold on, before we get into the practice game, y'all notice I'm a bit happier on this one. You know, the Kale one I was sick of seeing people in, but I'm trying to get people into this character. So, you know, there's a lot more positivity to be had here. Anyways, let's go put it into practice. Alright, Dabura time. So, as far as helpers go, I usually choose Nail because it can give us a extra proc. It gives us extra procs with the rush attacks that he gives of the petrification gauge buildup on enemies. That's why I choose it, but all of them are good for him. But Tomo's good because it can push people away and he doesn't really have a get off me button or a get away button. World King's good for him because of extra damage and the fast cooldown. So you can really choose whatever. And yeah, I'm gonna say same shit I always say. Don't get angry or upset if you ain't the best player in the game, if you ain't the MVP, if you don't win. There's things that are out of your control, and as long as you were putting feet forward to try to learn, whether it be a character or the game itself, then you'll eventually be able to get more wins in the future. So whatever, who cares? Besides, if you cared that much, also, is his name Gok? What the fuck? Anyways, yeah, so, you know, that threw off my train of thought. I'm not gonna lie to you. Anyways, Dabura, very interesting character in that he's not really a hyperscaler like a lot of characters in this game, and he's not a big burst damage guy. What he is a damage over time guy, first and foremost, but also you really want to use him early on to hoe enemies out of farm. You want to play up as much as possible, not as much as you can, but as much as like possible, as many good opportunities as you get. You want to play him up to try to challenge your enemies with that big ass health bar that he got, and to try and just steal farm from the enemy. And yeah, notice how we just used our big health bar to just fucking get away with running them down there. Like, I slowed them, so Gohan should be able to get away. Let's go. There we go. Oh, they're trying to run away. That's cute. Then that's a super. Man, I secured my boy farm, so you can stun him. There we go. And I'm gone. And that was beautiful. That was super well played from Gohan to help me out there. And next interaction, we should be able to just win it. Aw, they backed off immediately. Oh, that was a bad super. I apologize to my teammate. Alright, then we can just take this. It's fine. Just apply pressure. And let's steal the farm. Beautiful. And yeah, we're just playing around Dabura's strength, which is just taking that early farm advantage. Not even because he's a farmer, but just to eliminate farm for the enemies, you know? And he doesn't have a vanishing step anymore. And he's gone. Just like that, got our giant slayer. It's time to dip out. We don't want to be too aggressive there, Gohan. Don't be a fool. There we go. There we go. And yeah, we're chilling now. Nappa is up, so I'm gonna go help. All right, we got our first big fight going down here, so hopefully we can make the best of it. There we go. Good read from me, though, Loki. Okay, now I gotta back off. Good pressure. Good pressure. We got the Nappa, too. That was just extremely well played. That guy's name is actually Gog. I'm still torn about that. That's on me. That's my bad. I unimportant. I should not still be focused on that. Alright, we've got a good party together for the damn 16 raid over here. And they're gonna play very inefficiently here. Love that. I get out of the super from Trunks there, and I can escape. I'm heading bot to heal. I have no reason not to. And yeah, we've been playing a pretty slow game, but we've been doing exactly what we want to do. Eliminating farm from them. And just playing up as much as we can, acting as a pseudo tank. And our damage is like scary enough for them to have to hold that. So yeah, I feel like this has been played very well. And I'm a fan of the Gohan that we have as well. He's been playing around us very well. We've gotten away just like barely so many times because he's played around his cooldowns so well. And has hit like his headbutts, his Masen Kyakus. His skill 2, I believe. Let's try to help this cooler. Oh, Trunks. Later. Oh, you're gonna die for that. Later. Aw. Later. And we get that. Beautiful. Push this in. Let's see if we can land a nice little super here. No. Alright, I'm gonna max this then. I'm just gonna... Y'all are so annoying. Ooh, not her. Anything but her being God. I was CC'd for so long, man. No, my super snowball. It's fine. We won the exchange. We're good. Hey, buddy. Aw, he ran away. He's running away, too. I guess we just kill Kale. She doesn't have her ult, so, like, what is there to be scared of? Not a damn thing. Let's go on ahead and run forward. Let's take this. Yep, Cooler is covering his lane up top. He's covering the top lane. That's pretty good. Yeah, they surrender. That was just that game was honestly more of a lesson in positioning than playing Dabura. But, like, we still got good Dabura gameplay out of it. You know, we played forward. We were able to still farm, and we were able to move around with our team, as you should be doing. All things you should be doing with Dabura. But the positioning all across the board from the entire team was very good there. I gotta give you the heart for the name, my G. And yeah, that was pretty good. Very low damaging game. And like obviously my damage was also low, but that was more so because I was just focusing on taking farm away from them a lot early game instead of taking direct engages, as you guys noticed. I was letting Gohan do most of the work in that regard. And yeah, that was good. Well, I let him get farm a lot, and then I was stealing a lot of farm myself, but he would often charge in, attack enemies, you know, stun them. I would try to do some damage before dipping out because I had taken the damage for him to be able to finish them off. So, good combos all around. Very well played. So yeah, I mean, there's not much else I can say off that. Get to playing some Dabura. I want to see more people on this character. He's sick. Goodbye.